Wow, this country celebrated an amazing achievement, the bicentennial. The 70s was a decade of growth for the United States of America. This decade went through some downs, such as Elvis Presley dying, the Beatles officially breaking up. There were some ups as well, such as the entertainment business expanding, with popular movies for example, Jaws, Star Wars, and The Godfather. Now, although the Beatles broke up and the King of Rock died, does not mean we can forget about the music industry, with successful artists and bands like Pink Floyd, Jackson 5, and Rolling Stone. The 70s was an era with bright, groovy colors and a clothing brand that was for sure popping, Gucci. The 70s was a moment of growth with equality for women in education. Have you played Atari today? Oh yes, we cannot forget about this console, the Atari. The Atari was a console that brought joy back to kids.
March 22nd, 1972, finally the Equal Rights Amendment was passed to the Senate and sent to the states for ratification. This amendment proposed prohibit discrimination based on sex. The leader of women's rights, Alice Paul, drafted the Equal Rights Amendment 3 years after the 19th Amendment passed on 1923. And it was the next step to bring the equal justice to the society. This amendment proved that women in the United States had equal right to vote under the law. The Equal Rights Amendment had been ratified by only 38 states by the 1979 deadline. Women will continue to fight with the society to get equal right to vote for all women in the United States.
Video games. What do you hear when you say video games? Well, in the bottom right hand of this mural, you will see an Atari console. This console represents the video games of this decade, and in general, that can be quite a long list. This list goes from Atari's Pong, Combat, Lunar Landing, Space Invaders, Centipede, and quite a few more. Once you get down to it though, Atari had an entire monopoly on the video games industry. They did this and kept this by hiding the people who made the names and buying out many people who created video games in this decade. However, this does not mean they were very good at it. Yes, they created quite a few good games, but they also created quite a few bad and unmemorable ones. The only thing invading the household these days. Many new ideas can rock this world, quite literally in some cases.
Popular music groups of the 1970s consisted of the Jackson 5, Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones, and many more. In the 1970s, genres such as funk and disco became really popular, leading to the record label Motown. Motown gave artists such as the Jackson 5 their push into the music world. And though new artists, genres, and labels were beginning, some musical talents came to an end. We lost beloved King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley due to a heart attack at the age of 42, and the very popular and talented band The Beatles came to an end, because Paul McCartney came to the conclusion that he was the only one still interested in writing songs and performing in the band.
With the depression of the Vietnam War and politics in the 1970s, the contrasting colors of dark grays and blacks with a pop of orange, green, and purple had a variety of emotions contradicting one another. Extracting the negativity from the time and implementing all the creativity and the gay feelings everyone felt, we show that despite the odd, there will always be a light. One of the major factors to the mural is the bird's eye view of a table covered in a variety of items and symbols. Informing those who don't know what happened during the time, we made the focal point become a broken vinyl disc by the Beatles, who broke up in 1970. A large shock in the community right at the start of the decade, but popular films and artist tracks bursting out later such as Jaws, Star Wars, and Pink Floyd are surrounding the broken vinyl to signify the growth towards the music industry. In the bottom left corner, you'll see multiple edges of picket signs and boards that represent the women's rights movement. This was during the time when the Equal Rights Amendment was created after women rioted and striked against the workforce and men. There is also the Gucci design logo at the top of the mural, which which was a popular brand among women. Besides the large, bouncy letters of 1970 which pop out at the viewer, there is a melancholic view of Elvis Presley's grave towards the bottom row. The face of the amazing king and the years of his life, signifying how much he impacted on the lives of others in such a short time. All the little details in the mural seem large and covering an array of the area, but each holds a large meaning to the positive light that the 70s became.